Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Taruna Joshi from Ramdas College. Today I am going to talk about retrospective conversion from the paper ICT for Libraries. Objectives of the module: concept, need and its historical developments, and parameters and currently used standards. Now let's come to the introduction. The developments in information technology have effected drastic changes in the way in which information is collected, stored, retrieved, and distributed. The main responsibility of a library is to maximize the user's need satisfactions and to minimize the time lost to the users. It can only be done by increasing the internal efficiency of day-to-day work within the library. The applications of computers can be grouped into those concerned with housekeeping routine and those directed towards the information retrieval. The information storage and retrieval problem has become progressively more serious in the recent years, especially in the area of technology and sciences, where the volume of data and the information is increasing at an unprecedented, nearly exponential rate. Keeping in view the tremendous flow of information, to organize information and to disseminate in a systematic way, only computerization is the answer. Computer-aided system is more convenient, more flexible, and also more comprehensive in the long run and more economical also. To establish the computer-based system of any library, it is the first step to create a database of the existing resources available in that library. It is necessary to convert the bibliographic information of the manual card catalog to machine-readable format for use with an automated library system. This process is well known as retrospective conversion, or in short we can say recon. Retrospective conversion involves a considerable amount of work, essentially acquiring existing databases and keyboarding all the existing entries of records. That too, error checking has to be done, or to get the job done from commercial vendors and creating a bibliographic database and transferring the records to machine readable form. Recon is a costly and time consuming task for most of the libraries. Therefore, it has to be well planned very properly for completing the task within the day-to-day activity schedule. What is retrospective conversion? According to Jane Beaumont and Joseph P. Cox, retrospective conversion is the process of a library's existing bibliographic records from manual to machine readable format according to specified policies and standards. Retrospective conversion is the process of conversion of printed catalog of library holdings into a machine readable form in a predefined format using accepted standards for making it searchable through machine. This process is a prerequisite for library computerization. Libraries cannot begin online transactions of other functions such as acquisition, cataloging, circulation, OPAC, and serial control, etc., unless and until retrospective conversion is not fully done. Retrospective conversion is typically accomplished by one or a combination of two basic methods: matching and extracting machine-readable records from a resource file or keying records directly into a database. It is clear that retrospective conversion is concerned not with ongoing cataloging, but rather with converting the previously created bibliographic records from card or paper formats into machine-readable format. It is not cataloging or even recataloguing, although sometimes recataloguing may be necessary or useful to make changes to the older headings, classification numbers, etc. The primary purpose is to create a machine-readable file of the existing manual catalog, not to duplicate the work of previous cataloger. It is the conversion of data from one format to another as quickly and as inexpensively as possible while maintaining the policies and standards set for the project. It is advisable to set the policies before starting the job, such as how much editing is to be done, are all the names to be checked in an authority file, etc. Standards for the task have also to be decided upon, such as will the Anglo-American cataloging rules to AACR2 be followed faithfully? Is the machine-readable catalog MARC format, CCF format, or any other standard format to be used? It is most troublesome task. It is enough to say that for a project to be successfully accomplished, certain policies and standards must be decided upon before the project begins, and they must be adhered to during its execution. Need for retrospective conversion. The conversion of database of library holdings from non-machine readable form to machine readable form is a prerequisite to implementing an automated system. This database would become the foundation for other library activities such as OPAC, circulation, catalog maintenance, resource sharing, etc. These records provide the means of generating statistics and other information that is needed to improve the existing services and introduction of new ones. Features or benefits of retrospective conversion. To create a database for a local automation system, the library usually wish to automate the circulation function in the library and or to provide an online catalog. The library may also wish to provide for its future automation needs and in fact proceeds to carry out a retrospective conversion project without having a specific automation system in place. The need to have a machine-readable file of its bibliographic records has, however, been identified. Second, to improve speed service to users on time, it is to be expected that the results improve the services that the library provides its users. Some of the benefits which library users may find are improved circulation services, improved access to the library's collection, improved interlibrary loan response time, etc. Number 3. To improve the internal library procedures. Not only should a library expect a retrospective conversion project would benefit its users, it should also expect that the project would assist the library's own staff in accomplishing their tasks with more efficiency. This may manifest itself in such benefits as the elimination of card filing, the availability of more current bibliographic data, the lessening of time-consuming changes to the catalog records, and an improvement in pre-order and pre-catalog searching. Number 4. To generate special products. If library has its catalog in machine-readable format, it is much easier to generate special products, including a complete database produced in a different format. For example, catalog on floppy diskette can be distributed at various points in the library or to different branches, or a subset of the database, for example, a serials catalog or a catalog of the library's non-book material, electronic media resources, etc. Once the data have been entered in the into the library's databases in a consistent form with useful coding, it is possible to generate many special products. The library's catalog is no longer site-bound and can be accessed more easily. Number 5. To create an integrated file and to eliminate the cost of maintaining parallel systems. One of the reasons many libraries contemplate a retro conversion project is that present cataloging is automated while older records remain in the card format. This creates two files and hence two places to search for library materials. It is quite common for a library to have some of its records on floppy diskettes or in an online catalog and the remainder in a card catalog. This is awkward for both the users and the library staff. With a complete retrospective conversion, the library acquires a single integrated file. The cost of maintaining two catalogs has also become prohibitive for some of the libraries, and they simply close the card catalogs and maintain just one catalog. Other libraries maintain both catalogs. Neither solution is very satisfactory. When the retrospective conversion project is completed, however, the need to maintain parallel catalogs is eliminated and hence catalog maintenance costs are reduced. Now we come down to point number 6, which is to provide flexibility in changing systems. It is evident that the rate of technological change is very rapid. Some of the libraries that were the first to automate have now changed systems 2 or 3 times. A library must therefore try to create a database which will allow it to move with technological change. Having an integrated machine-readable file will allow libraries to move from older to newer computer systems with more ease and less cost. Number 7, to maximize return on automation expenditure. Libraries are spending vast amounts of money on computer hardware and software. If, for instance, only 50% of a library's catalog is in the automated system, then the library is not maximizing the return on its investment. Besides, not using its computer power to full potential, the library is probably wasting time and money using and maintaining two systems. These two systems are, one is the manual one and the other an automated one. Number 8, to protect library files. One of the attributes of machine-readable catalogs is their portability as opposed to card catalogs, which are usually maintained at a single site. This portability provides added protection to the library's bibliographic files, as copies of the files can be stored and maintained in off-site location in the event of flood, fire or other disasters. In the library, the file copies remain safe. Preservation of the file should not pose a problem in the future, as these can be copied and transferred to newer and better means of storage as these become available. Now let's see the number 9, which is to create union list for libraries which are part of a larger library system or group of libraries having all the holding in machine readable format can facilitate the production of union lists, which can be a cumbersome task if maintained manually. Now let's come down to point number 10, which is to share bibliographic data. The conversion of a library's bibliographic records to machine-readable format means that the data can be shared with other libraries as well. This is especially true for those libraries which form a consortium or maintain file with bibliographic utilities. This sharing of data is of mutual value to the member libraries as the pool of available record increases. Let's come down to point number 11, which is to share bibliographic resources. Not only is the bibliographic data made more widely available when in machine-readable format, the bibliographic items themselves are often more widely available to other libraries. Through the use of central databases and electronic mail, the interlibrary loan function in many libraries, especially smaller ones, has been greatly enhanced by the ability to identify a location for an item and subsequently to make an interlibrary loan request. To facilitate collection rationalization, the decision whether or not to purchase a specific item can be aided if the library in question has access to all the bibliographic records of similar neighboring libraries. With automated union catalogs and bibliographic consortia, it is very easy to explore the holdings of other libraries. To create national databases and to contribute to universal bibliographic control. Having the library's records in machine-readable format can extend the benefits beyond the local and regional arenas to the national and international. When libraries contribute cataloging to a larger pool, they are increasing the number of records available to all who use that pool. They are aiding the bibliographic control of items in their own area and also contribute to universal bibliographic control. Objectives of retrospective conversion are as follows: to create a database for the automation system, to maximize access to the collection, to improve the services, reduction in time for searching of a document, to improve library internal procedures, the integration of acquisition and cataloging through automation and streamlining of other technical services, and also to maximize returns on automation expenditure. Scope: to achieve the desired results, it is necessary to have a good understanding of the relationship of each aspect of retrospective conversion process. Decision made on one part of the project will have an impact on the others. Thus, once it is decided to initiate the retrospective conversion project, it is essential to determine the scope of the project by the following points. Number 1, stages or phases and schedule of process. Number 2, deciding what area of the collections will be converted. Number 3, prioritizing the order of conversion. Number 4, desired speed of conversion. Number 5, by whom and how the conversion is to completed. And number 6, project costing and budget. Planning. For successful retrospective conversion project, there is a need for sound and detailed plan tempered with realistic expectations. The plan should include: number 1, clearly identified objectives, carefully document procedures, paying close attention to the efficient workflow. Number 3, specify standards to be used. Number 4, identify reporting document requirements. Number 5, identify the necessary staff training. Number 6, plan for regular monitoring of quality and schedule. Now let's see what is the planning framework, which is an important question. The following considerations provide a logical progression and suggest a series of checkpoints to guide library administration in developing a basic framework for the retrospective conversion. First, the librarians should examine 4 basic assumptions of the library automation. Provide the patrons with a broad range of services in a timely, reliable, and cost-effective manner. Allow the staff to complete necessary tasks with less efforts rather than more. Requires a database of bibliographic records in order to function. And the rate of expansion of library automation services is dependent on the allocation of resources and the growth of the bibliographic database. Given these assumptions, librarians should address these important questions. What minimum set of records must be converted to establish a database that will support enhanced labor-saving services? What functions can be supported by library automation to achieve the desired level of services? And how should resources be allocated most economically to achieve a balanced retrospective conversion and the range of automated functions to be acquired? By working through these assumptions and questions, librarian can develop an approach to automation that links retrospective conversion and library automation so that these can be managed as a single integrated effort. Pre-conversion issues. Pre-conversion includes 4 points. Number 1, record format. To ensure that first conversion is the last conversion of the library or information center, it is important that the bibliographical information of the documents should be converted into standard format. Number 2, fields in the database. It is time to decide that what fields are to be included in the database and what not. Current practices for recording the bibliographical information may need modification when added to the machine-readable form. Decision should be taken after considering the user's present requirements and future needs. Number 3. Source for bibliographical information. Will the accession register, shelf list, or public catalog be the source to record the bibliographical information for conversion? The choice should be based on that source, which has accurate and complete information to meet the requirements and quality standards. Number 4. Priorities of conversion. Determine priorities of the areas of conversion so that more important areas of the holdings may be converted first in machine-readable format. Problems behind retrospective conversion. Retrospective conversion is troublesome primarily because of the following facts. Number 1. With traditional techniques, retrospective conversion is very expensive. Number 2. Typically, it is a multi-year project. Number 3. Since it is often considered such a lackluster or boring subject, the topic generates little managerial interest and involvement. Despite the unfortunate reputation retrospective conversion has acquired, its importance cannot be overemphasized. The database resulting from a retrospective conversion project may long outlive the first, second, or third generation of automated systems installed in a library. Over the years, it can be very difficult to try to live with a poor database that is the result of budgetary or staff shortages. As Barbara Marcuson has commented, librarians never have enough money to do the right job in the first time, but libraries have enough money to do the job over again a second time. Now let's see what are the basic retrospective conversion guidelines. The success of a conversion project is closely tied to a number of decisions. First, the library staff must decide whether to undertake a partial or a full conversion and whether the conversion will be done in-house or through an outside agency. A library must make decisions of equally critical importance regarding the completeness and consistency of records. It is inevitable that converted records will differ qualitatively to some extent from new catalog because converted records are derived from local data that are limited by previous cataloging practices. Nevertheless, a library's catalog database is long-term investment and machine-readable records should reflect information that is as complete and accurate as possible. Documentation. A well-written documentation unveils the strengths. To the contrary, a poorly written documentation unravels the weakness of the project. Thus, documentation is crucial for the successful retrospective conversion and automation. If changes in the procedures are necessary, add them to the specifications. To ensure an efficient workflow, a manual may be prepared for the members working on the project, which will lead to consistent practices in the conversion. Retrospective conversion process. At first sight, the process of developing a retrospective conversion project may seem rather onerous. For the project to be successful, that is to be both cost-effective and efficient, forethought and planning are essential. It is necessary for a library to know clearly what it wants to achieve with the project, the option available for carrying it out, the cost implications of each option, and the most efficient way for proceeding with the selected option. Following 8 areas are to be discussed before proceeding toward the conversion of the data. Number 1, determine library needs. Number 2, establish parameters for the retrospective conversion project. Number 3, establish standards for the retrospective conversion project. Number 4, Identify retrospective conversion option. Number 5, analyze options. Number 6, choose an option. And number 7, develop plan of action. Methods of retrospective conversion. There are 3 methods of retrospective conversion. Number 1, in-house conversion using existing staff. Number 2, outsourced in-house conversion. And number 3, outsourced off-site conversion and machine match conversion. In-house conversion using existing staff. It disturbs the routine work. It also increases the workload. More time is required for completion of project. Additional space and hardware requirements are there. Added supervisory and quality control efforts required. Increased personal costs, and it may in fact make in-house conversions more costly in the long run. Outsourced in-house conversion. It is cost of conversion which is very high. Second, space must be found for additional temporary personnel. Number 3, able to work smoothly with existing staff has to be seen. Number 4, access to a database against which to match. And number 5, convert your records as with any in-house conversion. Outsourced off-site conversion and machine match conversion. Number 1, conversion cost per item will be more. Number 2, library has least control during the process. And number 3, shelf list or catalog may probably have to leave the library. Let's see the steps in retrospective conversion. First, filling of data input sheets or worksheets. Current practices for recording the bibliographical information may need modification when converted to the machine readable format. Thus, as per the requirements, data input sheets or we can say worksheets may be printed so that all the required information may be noted, forgetting no field and repeating no field. Those who have good knowledge of cataloging, scope, goals and objectives of the project must design the data input sheets. The person employed to fill up the data input sheets must have good knowledge of cataloging and must also be aware of what the information has to be recorded and what not. These data input sheets or worksheets must be checked by the library staff to ensure that correct and required information has been recorded to meet the quality standards. Entering data into software. After filling the data input sheets or worksheets, the information is keyed in the library automation package. This can be done by one who has basic knowledge of computers and is also the person who is good at typing. Here the knowledge of cataloging is not required, but it will be good if he is made aware of cataloging rules to reduce the number of mistakes. Editing of the database. After keying the bibliographical information into the software, the database must be checked for errors and edited by a responsible person to achieve the quality standards. This process must be repeated into a loop till the required precision is not achieved. Typographic spelling mistakes make the catalog problematic for the searching purpose. Key to success. The key to successful retrospective conversion is careful and meticulous planning. There are several actions on the part of a library which can take place that will contribute significantly to the success of the conversion project. These measures include careful planning. Number 2, close examination of each method of the conversion, taking into account the library's budget, time and manpower constraints. Number 3, weeding of titles and copies that have marginal value. Since it is expensive, it makes no economic sense to convert materials that are of little or no worth. So students, let's now summarize what we have learned in this module. Retrospective conversion is the process of converting the existing catalog of libraries and information centers from non-machine readable to machine readable database form. The best method for conversion for a library or information center depends upon the type and size of the collections, time, quality standards and manpower, etc. To achieve the desired results, it is necessary to have good understanding of the relationship of each aspect of conversion process. Planning and proper documentation of procedures and achievable milestones for monitoring will lead to consistency in the conversion. The database thus created would be able to achieve the objectives and will also reflect the image of the library or information center as well as also of the institution. Thank you.